Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thanks for watching today. I wanted to do an entire video based on my best of the best, top of the top, my holy grails, if you will. Now, I know I did a video like this, I think it was like April or May of 2018, so it hasn't even been that long, just a little over a year. And so many of these things have changed. I know that's how it goes, but the more things you try, the more you go, this is really it. And some of these are really, really hard for me to do. All right, but before we start, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you know of somebody who you think would enjoy the sorts of videos that I do, would you recommend me to a friend? All right, let's just start with primers. I have two. I think that if you are one of those people who is looking for a hydrating, plumpy, juicy, kind of glass skin type of primer, this one surprised me. Now, I never would have purchased this. This came in a boxy charm. This is the Touch and Soul No Poreblem Prime Essence. This one makes my skin look incredibly hydrated, bouncy, glowy, not greasy, but glowy, because I do tend to have some combination areas, and certain other illuminating primers are a little too much. This is nice because it's basically clear. If you were to put it on, it just comes out, a couple of drops. It looks like water, it feels like water, but the glow that you get from this, it's just hydrated, beautiful skin. I love this, and I'm just gonna rub it into the back of my hands because I don't want to waste it. It's good stuff. It's basically skincare in a bottle, and it does prime your skin. Now, if you're needing something that's mattifying, this is my favorite mattifying primer. This is what keeps all of my oils at bay around my nose, because if I don't use this and then I put on foundation and powder and the whole rigmarole, I end up with makeup breaking up right in the corners here, and then I have little dots of oil breaking through that disturbs the rest of my makeup all across the top of my nose. This is from Lancome. This is the Prep and Matte. It's their refreshing mattifying makeup primer, and it says all day hydration. So if you're worried that this is going to make your skin too dry, it doesn't. It does provide hydration, but I don't know, it feels like it has something in there that acts like a little sponge. It just kind of sucks up the oils and keeps them from coming through. I really like this. This starts out looking white, but when you rub it in, it's totally clear. I really like this. This has a slightly thicker, more lotion-like feel. This has more of a water type feel. I really do love both of these. They are fantastic. Foundations are one of my most loved, but also least used products. There are days that all I do is concealer, but I have two foundations to show you. If you're looking for a hydrating foundation, a dewy, glowy foundation, this is my favorite. I feel like for the price, the formula, the packaging, everything about this is drugstore. It's Flower Beauty. It's a light illusion. It has a pump. It's got a glass bottle. It looks very, very high end, and it is impeccable on the skin. As I get older, I'm in my mid-40s, I'm 44, I'm coming up on 45 pretty quick here. I definitely feel like my skin needs a little bit more hydration. It needs a little bit more glow, and not greasy, but to make my skin look more skin-like. The more really matte foundations I wear, the more my skin looks a little bit older than it is. Now, I don't mind being 44 years old, nearly 45, but what I want is I want my skin to look its best at whatever age I'm at. This one really does a great job. If you're looking for a Longwear all-day foundation, this one usually lasts me, 8 to 9 hours. But if you want to put it on in the morning before work and still have it looking good as you step out in the evening to go out to dinner or have coffee and dessert with friends or whatever it is you're planning on doing for the evening, Estee Lauder Double Wear. This one is fantastic. I think the thing that I like most about the Double Wear is that although it's not a fully flat matte. It does look beautiful on the skin. It has good coverage. I know there are other foundations that have more coverage, but this has enough coverage for me, but it doesn't make my skin in my mid-40s look cakey. Doesn't make it look dry. Doesn't make it look older. Doesn't age me. This is still a beautiful foundation on me. The one thing I wish is that it came with a pump. Comes like this. You can buy a pump for it. I keep forgetting to get one, but that is my pet peeve because this is a $40+ foundation. This one's what, like $16, and it has a pump and an easy to remove cap, and it's got the glass packaging. It's beautiful. I wish they would try a little harder. I wish Estee Lauder would just do me that little extra, but the foundation, what's inside the bottle, is beautiful. Now, both my favorite powders come from Hourglass. If you're looking for a pressed powder or you're looking for a loose powder, I feel like Hourglass does face products like they do this like no one else. So my favorite is the Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light. This is a baked powder. It looks, but once you blend it in, it really doesn't look like anything, but it has the slightest sheen or glow, and it never looks highlighty on my skin. It just makes my skin look more skin-like. That's what I love about this powder. I use this under the eyes. I use this all over the face. I've been using Hourglass powders. I can't even tell you how long. I don't remember the first time I got my first one. Fell in love with it. Diffused Light is my preferred shade, and I just blow through these. Like I go through at least 1 or 1.5 of these a year. And it takes a long time to go through it. I don't wear a lot of powder, but this has lost its little baked dome. It's like flat in the pan here, and if you look at it, you can see I've been scrubbing around in this. I do really love this powder. Now, the Hourglass Veil Setting Powder, I know some people have a hard time with the fact that the stopper in the lid here, it kind of comes to a little, if you were to look at it, it comes to a little dome and it has a little well here, and it covers the sifter on this so that you don't ever get too much. But even the amount that sits here is more than enough powder for my needs. I feel like if I were to put on all of the powder that was there on my face, then it would age me. But this is also another glowy powder. It's great for buffing. It's great, like there are times that I, have too much highlight, bronzer, blush, and I need to tone it down. I take a kind of a stiffer, fluffy brush, and I guess they a dense, fluffy. I take a dense, fluffy brush, and I take some of this, and I just buff right over the top. And just like this one, it has a very subtle sheen. It brings radiance and light to the face and makes my skin look great, even though I'm in my mid-40s. All right, I forgot about this concealer. This is the one concealer that for me, it's like, I feel like it's the one ring, one concealer to rule them all. I have a lot of other concealers, but this is the one I continually reach for. It's the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. I have the shade Lace. It's beautiful. It does have one of those larger, it's not really a doe foot, it's more like a buck foot. Like it's like, we're here and we're not playing. It covers really well. It has hyaluronic acid. It's creamy. It doesn't leave my under eyes looking dry. And the coverage for this is amazing. And there are days that all I do is swipe some under here, redness, corners of my nose, corners of my mouth, blend it in, and that's all that I wear. I love this, and I have so many others. I have like containers full of concealers, and this is still the only one that I reach for. All right, bronzer. This is hard because I love the Fenty bronzer. I love the Balms Take Home the Bronze. But this is the one that I feel gives me the most beautiful and natural look. It's from Bare Minerals. This is their Invisible Bronze. It's a baked product, and this is in the shade Fair to Light. So it doesn't really look like much, but as you blend it, the edges like just kind of blend into nothing, and I never look like I've got a heavy stripe of color. I also like that it's, being fair to light, it's almost like you don't see it on my fair skin. And I love that because it gives me that little subtle hint of warmth without looking like too much. And the formula of this is beautiful. I absolutely adore this. This is fantastic. My favorite blush goes to Charlotte Tilbury. I love these blushes that have the 2 shades in them. And this one here is called Sex on Fire. It's a really beautiful kind of subtle peach, pink if you just swirl it together. But there are days that I do, Charlotte's technique of taking the outer shade and putting it here and then the inner shade right on the apple of the cheek. I feel like these last beautifully. They wear really well. They have longevity to them, and they also they look matte, but as I blend it in here on my hand, it does have a subtle radiance. I'm not saying it's a glowy blush because it's not a glowy blush, but it's not a flat matte. I wouldn't really say that it's satin, but it has just a little something. And I think that Charlotte does that with most of her products so that you have more of that look of natural radiance. I really love this formula. I think this is fantastic. My favorite highlight also happens to be from Charlotte Tilbury. And I tried the original Bar of Gold, and it's okay. It's not my favorite. But this Bar of Gold palette, do you see how used and abused mine is? Like it's got, if I were to do this, look at that. It's got just highlight everywhere. And I just take my favorite brush and I just go across all of them. And that's why there ends up being so much highlight in between all of these pans. But I just think these guys here, look at that. It's insane. It's so mirrored. It's so beautiful. I use this, you know, on the high points here, bridge of my nose, right above here, like right even in the arch, inner corner, Cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin. And this is one of those that if you use the right brush with this, it looks diffused and beautiful, and it doesn't look quite this metallic, because this could turn into the Tin Man really easily. But I feel like these, you can intensify them and build them up for as much glow as you want, or have something really subtle. And I love that we've got a white gold, a rose gold, and more of a bronzy gold. I love this so much. And if I were to just use my favorite highlight all the time, it would be this. I go through and I use my other ones because I have a lot of highlights and I have a lot of really good highlights, but that is still my favorite. I picked it up at holiday and I haven't looked back. All right. This was surprising to me. I was thinking about eyeshadows. Now, I haven't done a video on these yet. I will, and it's going to be coming soon. But I was thinking about what eyeshadows would I reach for? What eyeshadows would I feel like? And I was leaning Colourpop. I was leaning Colourpop so hard because affordable and good quality. And then I tried something I'd never tried before. The reason I tried these was because Mel Thompson was talking about the Christmas in July sale for Sydney Grace. And she raved about these. And she did swatches and I was like, that couldn't possibly be. Really? I picked up some Sydney Grace eyeshadows. Where have I been? How did I miss this? How could I be in the makeup world and not know about this remarkable product? Okay, so this is what I picked up. This is the Autumn's Rain palette. The one thing I'll tell you, the mirror in here, it's not a really good mirror. I look like I'm in a funhouse mirror. So the mirror is not good. If you're not interested in getting this palette like this, you can get the bundle where you get all 15 of these shadows and you can put them in your own magnetized palette if you'd rather. But I liked it because it had the names under here. So I can have all of these, know that these all are the Autumn's Rain palette shades and they're in their right spot. They do come in little, let me show you here, little paper sleeves like this. And you have to take them out and you have to pop in the right one into the corresponding well here. But these shadows, the mattes, blend remarkably. They just, for days. But for me, it's the pressed pigments that just make me go, are you serious? Look at that. It's remarkable. And then when you swatch these guys, look at that. They are just so gorgeous. They last all day. So I picked up this palette. This palette is $52. And during their Christmas and July sale, if you picked up anything over $50 on one of their days, they gave you a whole bundle for free. It's this one right here, these 9 pans. This is their Raspberry Kiss bundle. And these guys also, just like, really? Is that really what you're doing? I mean, if you look at these, look at that. That's a bad swatch right there. But I mean, they're just gorgeous. They're remarkably foiled. And then I wanted to get another one of their bundles. They had a different sale on each day. So another day I was able to pick up this 9 pan, and I love these kind of mustardy tones, these darker greens and golds. That's their Mountain Trail bundle that you got for free if you spent $50 on other products. So I got more of their pressed pigments. I picked up a highlight. I got one of their powders. They had just launched new face powders. But these eyeshadows, I'm like, how did I not know about these? How is it possible that this is happening and I mean, look at that. Look at that. They're just absolutely stunning. So if I had to wear one brand of eyeshadow, from now, I'm in love with these guys. And I have a really wide range of shades from this palette to the singles that I have. I am stoked, stoked, stoked. But I don't know. I love Makeup Geek. I love Colourpop. But these are amazing. They're probably the best quality eyeshadows I have that come as singles, and every single shade in here is good. I didn't find a single dud. Every matte is good. Every shimmer is good. Every metallic, it's remarkable. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna do a whole video. Maybe we'll do one on the Raspberry Kiss, one on the Mountain Trail, one on the Autumn Rain. I'm gonna do a whole range of just Sydney Grace, but let me tell you, oh my giddy aunt, they are amazing. I'm gonna finish up with eyes. My favorite liner is from Milk. This is their Longwear gel liner. I have the shade CEO, and it's my favorite gel liner. The other thing that's great about this is that it's retractable. It has a little smudger on the other side, which I almost never use, but there is also a little built-in sharpener if you need it to be sharper than it is. It's kind of a small pencil. It's not one of those micro pencils, but I think it's remarkable. I think it works really, really well. And this has replaced, like, I've been using the Lancome Drama liquid pencils. I'm trying to finish those up. They're my project pan for this year, but I don't think I'd get those again. I think I'd just go and get more of these Milk liners. They're so good. All right, my favorite brow products. This was hard for me because I love so many, but I think when it comes down to price and performance, the NYX Microbrow is my favorite pencil. It's very similar to the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which is like my all-time favorite pencil. But you get this for $10 as opposed to $21. Like, done. Now, I wish I had a fiber product for my brows, like a fiber mascara to set my brows with that was good at a drugstore price. I haven't found one. And I go between either this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Legendary Brows. It has the teeniest, tiniest little baby spoolie that has these short fibers, but it makes my brows look super luxurious and fluffy. It builds in hairs that aren't there. I don't know how it works. This, and then there is the product. It's the Instant Brow from the Brow Gal. I feel like they're very comparable in price. They're, I think, $21, $22. And they have the same tiny brush and the same amazing fibers, both remarkable products. All right, for mascara, my heart is still sold to Lancome's Monsieur Big. I love this. I feel like it's got a really great brush where it's spiky but not too spiky. It has space to help product layer up on your lashes, but it doesn't end up having so many wide gaps that you get giant clumps and your lashes just kind of spider together. I feel like it's really great. And I've never had problems with this flaking or smudging. This is limited edition packaging. I got some on sale and they come in this box here, but they're just, it's my favorite mascara. I do love the Hourglass. I can't say it. I do love the Hourglass Caution Extreme Mascara, but if I had to pick one forever, it would be by Monsieur Big. Almost forgot. Potted Gel Liner. My favorite one is from Colourpop. I know they repackaged these, but I love for my tight line, because although I love this, for ease of use, this is easy to put up in my upper waterline. But when I blink and throughout the day, I will get some transfer to my lower waterline. But if I want something in my upper waterline that does not move, these are the Creme Gel colors from Colourpop. These don't go anywhere. And they come in a variety of shades. I love this so, so much. All right, lipsticks, and we're done. I feel like Colourpop does lip liners better than anybody. My favorite one is BFF. I have a ton of Colourpop lip liners. I have bright punchy shades, but I feel like this one, if I had to choose one for the rest of my life, is very close to my own natural lip color, so I could easily fill in, perfect my lip line. My lips are losing collagen, they're losing volume, and it's nice to be able to just kind of like figure out where my line is, define it nicely with this, and then put whatever color on top that I want. I could use a Colourpop red or a Colourpop fuchsia or one of these nude colors, but I feel like Colourpop does, for $6, why pay more? They're really, really great. Now, lips, because I love lip products, and I'm sure you know I love lip products, I couldn't really narrow it down to one lipstick. So I have one gloss. I love the Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip Formula, and this one is in the shade Champagne Mommy. This is the one that I'm trying to finish now. I finished the one in Here's to You, so if I had to pick one shade, it would be Here's to You. But this is a $6 or $7 lip gloss. It has the smallest little teeny tiny brush on the end, and I know it seems weird, but it makes it easy to spread it out. It really, really, really does. I mean, it's just like super easy. I get a lot of precision from this brush. I like it quite a lot. And I think the formula of this as opposed to their this is the Ultra Glossy Lip as opposed to their So Juicy. I feel like this is a better formula because it doesn't end up getting stuck like right here in the corners if I over apply. I don't have that problem. I do with the other Colourpop gloss that comes in the squishy tube, the So Juicy, but I love this formula. I love the applicator on this. And I don't know why I would want to pay more. I know that people rave about the Pat McGrath lip glosses, Marc Jacobs. I have a Marc Jacobs lip gloss and it's great. I still think that these are, for the price, I think it's a fantastic, fantastic gloss. And it would be a good gloss even if it was more expensive. But why pay more when you don't have to? All right. If we're talking favorite bold lipstick, and I'm talking like a red or a fuchsia or like a boom, it's out there, Lisa Eldridge, hands down. I have two shades here. One is my favorite from her new release of her summer pinks. This one is called Skyscraper Rose. It's remarkable. It's the most gorgeous deep fuchsia. It's just the best. And her red velvet lipsticks, the ones that actually look like velvet on the bullet. My favorite is Velvet Ribbon. It's kind of like her mid-toned red. I think the formula on both of these are fantastic. So if you're looking for a really great, I know these are hard to get. They're probably sold out right now, but she has been restocking them little by little, and that's her goal. I think maybe to not make these limited edition anymore, but just to have them out. But the formula, I have never tried a matte lipstick that didn't dry me out, that provided color, that could wear all day. These velvet lipsticks, I put it on. I ate 3 meals with it, drank coffee, drank water from my water bottle, and I had very little minimal loss, like right in here, from where, you know, your coffee cup touches, the straw touches, the food touches, your fork touches as you're going in and out, you know, putting things in your mouth throughout the day. And I wore it for 12 hours, and I was able to use my finger and take some from down here and just kind of pat it in. No problem, perfection, and it didn't leave me dry. The ones that are from her pinks, these insanely saturated, it's a different formula. This is a different formula than her reds, but these wear beautifully. They're comfortable. These are a demi-matte. I've never found a lipstick formula that I like better than this. And I think these are running, depending on where you are and what the exchange rate is. When I purchased these were about $32 a piece, 32 and change. And I feel like for a luxury product that has magnetic packaging, you really can't go wrong. Now, if you're looking for a matte nude, my favorite matte nude is from Pat McGrath. I don't wear it as often as, I forget that I have it. I have so many great matte lipsticks. But this one is in the shade Omi. This is her matte trans lipstick in the shade Omi, named after Naomi Campbell. It's beautiful. It's very much like a mauve toned nude, but it's great. The formula is nice. This one's better. These, I think the price just got increased to $40. This doesn't have the magnetic packaging. Now, I don't want to say that it's not a good lipstick, because it is. And I think the shade here is fantastic, but it's expensive. It's more expensive than these, and I think the formula on this is better. Now, if you're looking for a sheer lipstick, if you want a sheer red, I have gone through tubes and tubes and tubes and tubes of this product. This is Lipstick Queen's Medieval. I know it doesn't look like much, but you can build it up. And the more you rub it on, the more red it becomes. But it's basically a vitamin E based lipstick, so it's super hydrating. I use it like chapstick. The more you rub on, the more red it becomes, but it reminds me of those Renaissance portraits where you have little cherubs in the corner and they have those beautiful like rosy cheeks and lightly flushed lips. It's never too much. It's always just enough. I love this product. I've never been without it since I picked it up 11 years ago. I've always had a bullet of it somewhere, and I go through it really quickly when I'm like, oh yes, let me put, and then I just, once I kind of get back into it, it's a favorite. My favorite sheer nude lipstick is new to me. It's from Sephora. It's one of their melting lipsticks, and it's in the shade Caramel. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm wearing it today, right here. Sheer, pretty, easy to wear. It advances with this little button at the bottom. It's so easy, so nice, so light. I put this on all the time without a mirror. I don't need a mirror to put this on because it is really sheer, but it's glossy, it's beautiful. It makes my lips look fantastic. So those are my favorites. The things that, like, if I had to live with a limited number of lipsticks, oh, please don't tell me I have to, because I have way too many. These would be the ones. If I only had to wear one brand of eyeshadow, it would be Sydney Grace. If I only could ever use one brand of powder, pressed or loose, it would be Hourglass. I just feel like there are so many fantastic products out there, and there are so many others that I love. And if you hear me talking about something else, doesn't mean that I don't love these products. These are my favorites. And I could very easily use these and always get a beautiful look. I think the problem for me is diversity. I love having other things to play with, new things to try, and that's why I have as much as I do, but I really love these. I forgot to mention my favorite setting spray. It's this. It's from Glow Recipe. It's their Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. It's beautiful. I have other ones where when you spray them, and if you happen to inhale because you don't catch your breath before you start, it gets in your nose, it gets in your mouth, and I choke. I don't have that problem with this. This, I feel like if it gets up my nose, if I inhale it, it's made with watermelon juice. It smells amazing. It really does bring some hydration to the face, but it does knock down that powdery look. I don't know, every time I pick it up, I just keep spraying. It's my favorite. The spray is super fine. I don't have the problem of getting little water droplets that settle on my face. It's just the best. So those are my favorites. I would love to know if you have one product you habitually repurchase, or ones where you're like, I'm not gonna try anything else because this is it for me. I would love to know. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you again soon. Bye.